And we are live. Hello world, and welcome to this latest video in my series on how to get a pass A in your CELTA. This week's video is packed with 5 more tips on how to improve things like instructions and concept checking questions. So please make sure to stick around to the end and get all that worthwhile content. If I could ask you just before we get started, as usual, please go ahead, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It really does help my channel to grow. And for all the support so far, I really appreciate it, and into the future indeed. Just on a side tangent as well, before we get started, why do so many YouTube content creators, I wonder when I'm watching them, use really dramatic verbs to make that request? They ask you to demolish and obliterate the like button or the share button. Would this encourage you to do it more? I wonder. If you have any thoughts on the matter, please leave a comment in the section below. So without further ado, let's get right into this week's list of 5 top tips from yours truly on how to get a pass A on your CELTA. The first tip today is related to instructions. It may sound very obvious, but if you consistently stick to this, it'll show in your teaching, and you will show yourself as quite a steady teacher, a reliable teacher, if you're consistent in the things that you're doing. So the tip itself is to set a clear task before the students actually start working on anything. What I mean is sometimes a teacher might, for example, this is a common one, a teacher might ask the students to read a text, and then afterwards they'll have some questions. If you think about that, the students are reading without knowing what the questions are, so they're reading without a purpose per se. And then, sure, they're reading, but the purpose or the task is providing the sub-skill development. So asking a gist question is the thing that promotes reading for gist. Asking scanning questions is the thing that promotes the sub-skill of scanning. So make sure that you get that task well established before the students go and tackle the materials which you have for the lesson. Following from this, you really should script and practice your instructions for the first, I would say, 1 to possibly even your 3rd teaching practice. And when I say script, I mean exactly that. Write them down and read them back to yourself and ask yourself, are they logical? Is the language graded? Are they clear? A really good way of practicing them is to do what I'm doing right now. Set up your phone, prop it up against the wall, and then record yourself, just audio if you want, or do exactly as I'm doing with a video, record yourself giving those instructions and then watch it back. You'll be really surprised to hear what actually comes out of your mouth. Keep practicing into your phone and watch them back until you're happy with the instructions. I promise this will stand to you. The 3rd piece of advice that I want to give you today is to also practice CCQs, just in the same way as I told you to practice your instruction checking questions. So to practice CCQs, script them, write them down, read them back to yourself, ask yourself, are they logical? Is the language appropriate for the learners? Is it actually clarifying the target language itself, or is it maybe asking a superfluous question? Then set up your phone again, record yourself, watch it back, listen back, and ask yourself, okay, is this going to be effective? You play my role, as it were, play the role of the tutor onto yourself. And again, doing this for your first few teaching practices will really help to internalize the process and develop the skill within yourself. 4th tip today, and that's one that comes right from your CELTA 5, given to you directly from Cambridge indeed, and that is to show independence. A really great way of showing independence is, instead of going to your tutor and asking, oh, what should I do in this lesson? Instead, look at the materials, think about some ideas yourself, and then come to your tutor with your ideas and ask, what do you think about these ideas? So you can see how that's different, right? On one hand, the tutor is just giving you ideas and you're practicing the implementation of them, which is great and works and helps in the development of your teaching and might be exactly what you're needing at that moment. However, if you're looking to push it a little bit further towards those higher grades, showing independence is a great way of achieving that. And last but not least this week is dealing with incidental language. So what do I mean by incidental language? I mean that language which comes up in the lesson that you haven't planned. It's not the language that you're bringing. And where does the language come from then? It comes from the learners. Okay, so maybe you've set a speaking task and you hear some of them using really excellent vocabulary that would be appropriate to the context that you've established, in which case, grab it and either share it with the rest of the learners later on after that task is over, or maybe on the spot if it's appropriate. Again, grab it, share it with the rest of the learners, put it up on the board as well. It's very motivating for the learner. So there you have it, another 5 tips on how to get a pass A in your CELTA. Keep working, keep practicing, stay dedicated so that whether it be today or one day in the future, you will become that teacher that you're aiming towards and that your students want you to strive towards becoming. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.